I never imagined that something as simple as opening my son's bedroom door to wish him good night would shift the way I viewed my family, my child, and even myself. Yet life has a strange ability to turn the smallest moments into the most unforgettable lessons. That night became one of those turning points for me. My name is Laura Mitchell, and I live in a peaceful suburban area in Ohio with my husband, Mark, and our 16-year-old son, Ethan. Like any parent, I was constantly juggling work, home life, and the worry that I wasn't doing enough for my child. Ethan was a wonderful boy, quiet, thoughtful, the kind of kid who watched the world more than he spoke to it. He didn't demand attention or fill a room with noise. But I always sensed a depth inside him that he rarely shared. That particular evening felt like any other Thursday. Dinner was simple roast chicken, mashed potatoes, and vegetables. Ethan barely touched his plate, distracted by something he wouldn't name. When I asked how school had been, he responded with his usual fine, before slipping off to his room. Mark and I exchanged a knowing look, but let it go. Raising a teenager often feels like trying to complete a puzzle when half the pieces are hidden. Later that night, while folding laundry in the living room, I heard laughter echoing down the hallway. Ethan's voice blended with another boy's. He'd mentioned earlier that his best friend Ryan might stop by to work on a school project. Ryan had been part of our home for years, the kind of kid who instantly brightened a space. Polite, funny, charming. Where Ethan was quiet, Ryan was full of life, and somehow, they fit together perfectly, balancing each other in ways that always warmed my heart. It was late when I finally decided to turn in. Mark was already asleep, but I paused in the hallway, thinking I should tell Ethan to wrap up. I walked softly across the carpet and reached his door, noticing the warm glow of a lamp seeping through the crack. I lifted my hand to knock, then hesitated. Instead, I gently turned the doorknob and peeked in, hoping not to disturb them but wanting to catch Ethan's attention. What I saw made me stop. Ethan sat on the floor, legs crossed, leaning against his bed. Ryan sat opposite him. Between them lay a half-finished poster board with messy notes and colorful sketches. But the project wasn't what froze me in place, it was their expressions. Ryan was speaking quietly, his tone steady and sincere. And Ethan was listening with a focus I had never seen in him. "I know it's hard," Ryan said softly, "but you don't have to pretend with me. You don't have to carry all of it alone." Ethan's eyes shimmered in the lamplight, and for a second, I thought tears were forming. My heart tightened. I had rarely seen my son look so open, so fragile. I don't want to disappoint anyone," Ethan whispered. "You could never disappoint me." Ryan replied instantly. That single sentence hit me like a wave. It carried more meaning and comfort than Ryan probably realized. It wasn't just reassurance, it was a promise of support that felt deep and unshakable. I hadn't intended to eavesdrop, but I stood there frozen, terrified of breaking the delicate honesty unfolding between them. In that moment, I understood something I had missed for far too long. My son had been carrying quiet burdens he never shared with us. Yet here he was, allowing his best friend into a part of his heart I had never seen. Ryan eventually glanced toward the doorway and noticed me. His eyes widened slightly, but instead of embarrassment, he offered a calm, gentle smile. A smile that told me everything was okay. Ethan turned at the same moment, his cheeks reddening with surprise and uncertainty. "Mom," he said quickly, wiping his eyes. It's all right," I interrupted softly. "I only came to say goodnight." Silence hung between us, heavy with everything I wanted to say, but knew I shouldn't. I longed to go to him, to wrap my arms around him and tell him he never had to hide from me. But I knew this moment belonged to him and Ryan, not to me. So I gave a small smile and added, "I'm glad you two have each other," before slipping back into the hallway and closing the door. That night, I lay awake replaying what I had seen. The softness in Ryan's voice, the emotion in Ethan's eyes, the strength of their bond. It was fragile, but powerful. I realized then that sometimes our children find comfort in people their own age, people who understand pressures we can't always see. In the days that followed, I started to notice things I had overlooked. The way Ethan brightened when Ryan arrived, the sound of their laughter drifting through the house like sunlight. Ryan gradually became more than just Ethan's friend, he became part of our home. He stayed for dinners, sometimes even overnight, and little by little, Ethan began opening up more, not only to Ryan, but to us too.